them all honestly. 2 nights ago my best friend and her boyfriend came to mine and my boyfriend's house for dinner and drinks. I'll call them Jack and Jill, because they definitely went up the hill. This was the first time my boyfriend had met them. Everything was going fine at first. Jill and I were catching up, my boyfriend and Jack were having beers and talking football while my boyfriend manned the barbecue. While we were eating, Jack and Jill brought up that they are looking at rentals in the area. Jill wanted to be closer to her family and her job was one she could do remotely. I was ecstatic to get my best friend back in town. They said Jack was having a hard time finding work though and they needed 2 incomes to be able to afford a place in our area. Jack graduated with a political science degree. He said he'd applied to some local newspapers and some positions for the city. He also had applications with various campaigns and political groups. My boyfriend chimed in and said if Jack was interested he could work for him. My boyfriend runs a small car detailing company. He has 3 work vans that he outfitted for car detailing. Basically he drives to people's homes and cleans their cars. He's booked out months in advance. It's actually quite impressive and he makes good money. He offered to train Jack and pay him $24 an hour to start if Jack could commit to at least a year of working for him. Jack kind of scoffed at the offer and told my boyfriend he didn't spend tens of thousands on a degree to clean cars. Which I can understand. But it did come across as rude. My boyfriend said fair enough. But here's where I think my boyfriend took it to the next level. He asked Jack who was paying for the gas for their road trip. Jack didn't answer. He asked Jack who was paying for their food on the trip. Jack didn't answer. He asked him how they would get approved for a rental if he couldn't verify employment. Jack was visibly getting ticked off. I hinted to my boyfriend he needed to cut it out but he kept going with the questions and eventually Jill interrupted and said it was time for them to leave. This was the first time I'd seen her in a long time and they were supposed to crash at our place that night. Before they left she told me my boyfriend was an a-hole and she wouldn't be coming back if he was there. Boyfriend and I fought all night. I asked him why he couldn't just bite his tongue for the sake of keeping the peace and that everything was going great till that conversation. He told me Jack was pretentious wuss and he was trying to help my friends out by offering him a job. I told him it was a nice gesture but understood why Jack didn't want a blue-collar job making $24 an hour after spending a ton of money on college. He responded by telling me that a blue-collar job is why he's able to pay for this house and all your stuff. I work part-time, but he does cover most of our expenses. This was the first time he's ever thrown that in my face in our relationship. I called him an a-hole. He's been sleeping on the couch. It's been a bad vibe between us. I don't know how to approach the situation. Jill and I have been texting and she said I'm not coming around again unless my boyfriend apologizes to Jack. When I told boyfriend this he said Jack can go flip burgers and F off. I can't leave my boyfriend and I do love him. But I want to be able to hang out with my best friend, especially when she moves back. I don't know what to do.